particularly first half. Bit sensitive in everything, in and out of possession. Thought we improved second half. Had a lot of territory and created some chances, but then failed with our chances that we created. And that was probably a story of last week and this week. You need one of them to go in, or at least to make the goalkeeper work, and we didn't do that, and that's on us as a group. So it's a very disappointing day.
Is that the most frustrating thing? You had 2 bites at the cherry on Sunday and today and not scored a goal?
Yeah, definitely, because it's not like we haven't had chances to win the game in both weeks. Last week, obviously, going down to 10 men changes the game somewhat, but we were the dominant team before that. We should have been leading. We've created enough opportunities today to score, and we haven't. And that's on us as a group. It's not any individual. It's a collective issue, and that's the reason why we haven't collected the points that we needed.
Did you think Lawrence's one at the end was?
Say that again, sir.
Did you think Lawrence's one at the end was going in?
Yeah, when he got in, off his left foot. Even then, you're hoping if we can hit the target, maybe the keeper saves it, or it hits the post and we can rebound it in, because we've got players following it in. And unfortunately, it went the other side of the post, and that chance probably summed up our last 2 performances in front of goal.
You made a couple of changes at half time. What was the thinking there?
Yeah, tactical, because of the way they were playing. They normally a bit more aggressive and press. They obviously sat in the middle of the pitch and waited, which is not like them. Maybe they thought that we'd come onto them and leave space for them, and they could counter and they'd win the game in that way. So it was hard for us to play through the middle of them. And I say we were a bit. We made too many technical errors, mistakes in the first half, which give them some openings, some moments, without really looking like scoring. I don't think Craig's had anything to do all game. So at half time, we just tried to simplify the game and go over their bodies in the middle of the pitch. And I think that helped us to gain more territory, more momentum. And I say it's not like we didn't have the ball in the penalty area. We did. We just, when we got there, our quality in our final moment let us down, which I say has been a common theme.
There's quite a bit of frustration from the away end at the end. Do you understand the fans' frustrations?
Of course, yeah. We're all frustrated, massively frustrated. We wanted to come here and win. It's not just on today. You got to look at other performances and other games that we could have maybe got something from. And under normal circumstances, you'd probably say 0-0 clean sheet, a point away from home is okay, but not today, and we weren't good enough. So look, we have a really big game next week where we can show a positive response, and we've got 5 games where we need to win as many games as possible. 15 points to play for.
Sorry, I was just going to say, did you think it was important to go over and acknowledge the fans at full time?
I would always acknowledge the fans, always. Out of respect, they've come here and paid money to come and follow their team in great numbers. They're entitled to have their say and their opinion. I have no issue with that whatsoever. I'll always acknowledge the supporters because they are the football club.
Craig Gordon wanted to go up with a couple of minutes to go with the corner. Did you not feel that it was just the right time, or was it?
No, I think there's still 2 minutes to go at least in that moment, and look, we had enough bodies up there and enough players up there. We put Hawks on as well, it was just, I don't think you can point to that moment. There was plenty of other moments that we could have done better in.
It felt like through January and February, we're a team in the ascendancy that we're going towards the top 6. What do you think's gone wrong maybe over the past month or so?
No, I don't think there's a lot gone wrong. It's just, they say, we've shown a lot of progress, and this game can't define us as a group or our season. It's bitterly disappointing today. We weren't good enough to win the game. I still think we were the better team and created the best chances. But sometimes that's football, and we have to respond from that. We have to get over it. And I say we've got 15 points, 5 games, and we have to try and win as many as we can between now and the end of the season.
How difficult will it be to rouse them for next
Say again, sorry.
How difficult will it be to rouse them for next weekend?
No, I think that game speaks for itself. When you go to a semi-final at Hampden, I don't think motivation will be a problem. Naturally, we're all disappointed at this moment in time and feeling down, but I just said to the players that's, as a group, we now have to respond and make sure when we come back in on Monday, we're preparing properly and positive, ready to go to Hampden and play a game that will be different than today.
Was there any point within the game where you felt that the goal was going to come?
Yes, second half, because we had a lot of momentum, you know, for an away team, we're pushing them back, and you know that it takes that one moment and that one little bit of maybe sometimes something falling for you in the box. I think we had one off the line as well at the back post, and a few shots that went over the bar. So you're waiting for that one moment to fall for you, and I say we had those moments, but unfortunately we failed when we created them.
In those closing stages, were you guys aware of the result of what was going on in Paisley?
Yeah, we knew what was happening, yeah.
Do you think that added an extra pressure just to the game? It seemed quite cagey and quite nervy for both sides at points.
Yeah, I think the first half, I think that had an effect on both teams. Them and us, I say they don't normally play in that way, how they approach the game and the style of play that they played in the first half. That's not them, so they made a change. And that probably contributed to the type of game that it was. It was almost like who's going to blink first, who's going to throw the first punch, and that wasn't, you know, the message to our players. And what we worked on is we come here to win, to take the game to the opposition. It doesn't always work out like that because of the way, you know, you've got 11 players on the other team trying to stop you. They're allowed to do that, and they're allowed to have their plan, which they did. Second half it changed in our favour, and I felt we played with more positivity, more momentum, more freedom in our thinking and our play, but we didn't do enough in front of the goal.